This is a very, very important milestone in our journey towards developing the semiconductor industry. As you are aware, we have taken a very comprehensive outlook. Instead of forcing through a fab, we are focused on creating the ecosystem. It's very important that we create the ecosystem so that the industry can grow sustainably. So the announcement of Micron to set up the first semiconductor unit in India is very important for us. And simultaneously, the announcement from Applied Materials to set up the engineering center so that those complex and sophisticated equipment which go into the semiconductor industry, they can be designed in India, they can be made in India. And the focus on training, focus on developing talent. So LAM Research will be using their state-of-the-art Semiverse, which is a virtual reality-based system, to train 60,000 engineers into manufacturing semiconductors. So this is a very good endorsement, and I'm very glad that Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's visit has led to this major development.
Let's start by talking about Micron, because that is the big one. There will be a component of what the center puts on the table, which is about 50%, and what the state government in the state of Gujarat will put on the table, which amounts to about 20%. Can you explain the structuring and the contours of the incentives, how they will be rolled out, and what it will eventually mean, both for the center as well as for the state government?
Our semiconductor program, right from the beginning, had a very clearly defined structure for giving the incentives. See, this is a new industry. This is a very, very complex industry, and this has a great impact on the way our economy grows. So right from day one, we were very clear to learn from whatever sources we could learn all across the world, the experience of the world, and our experience of the past. So we decided to structure it in a way where we will be giving the incentive pari passu, a dollar for dollar, whatever investments they make in the construction of the facility, getting the plant set up, getting the entire ecosystem set up, that same amount we will be putting in the plant. The government of Gujarat is topping up that incentive through its own cabinet approved policy. So this is going to be a very important milestone. See, what's important is, when the first plant comes, the chemicals which are required in the semiconductor industry, the gases which are required in the industry, the equipment manufacturers, the entire ecosystem of logistics which is required, it's a very, very precision kind of industry. All that starts coming, and that sets the stage for the entire industry to grow. So we are very hopeful, and we have very high level of confidence that we should be seeing 2 or 3 major announcements in the coming months.
I just wanted a clarification, sir, because there have been some changes that the government has announced with respect to the semiconductor policy, especially in terms of clearances. Now only a cabinet approval is going to be needed. One, why did you feel the need to bring in those changes? 2, specifically on the Vedanta Foxconn venture, there's been a lot of back and forth on where things currently stand. Is that likely to move forward or not? If you can clarify on both these, sir.
See, our semiconductor program is driven by some of the best professionals in the world. People like Mr. Vinod Dham, people like Professor Arogya Paulraj, people like Mr. Cyril Patrick Fernandez. I mean, these are the names of the industry, Mr. Manoj Jha. These are the names in the industry which are known globally, right? So as we learn, as we progress in this program, whatever changes are needed, we must make those changes. That is the approach we have followed, very open-minded approach, very consultative approach, an approach in which making sure that India develops this very, very important foundational industry for its future. So that's the approach we have followed. That's why, as and when we have felt the need to change the policy, we have changed it. And I'm very glad that our Prime Minister has followed that open-minded approach so that this industry can grow sustainably. On the Foxconn and Vedanta proposal, we have asked them to resubmit under the new window so that it can be evaluated afresh. And once they resubmit their proposal, we will be able to evaluate it and give the correct assessment.
Any reason why they've been asked to resubmit, sir? Because it's already been several months when they were cleared and shortlisted. So any specific reason why they've been asked to resubmit?
The qualification criteria which was laid out when the program was first rolled out 1.5 years ago, many of those criteria has changed. The industry has also seen a kind of change in its composition. There is a very clear understanding within the entire semiconductor industry today that the entire range of nanometers, the node size, will be important going forward, because the way telecom industry is growing, the way EV industry is growing, the way power electronics is growing, that need will be there throughout the spectrum of nodes, right? From all the way from 14 nanometer, 8 nanometers to 80 nanometers, 90 nanometers. So that change is reflected in the changes that we made, the modifications that we did in the semiconductor program. So we have requested all the earlier applicants to change their proposals, to resubmit their proposals as per the revised guidelines.
Okay, so very important.